Hey yo, how's it everybody? It's your international cruise line DJ Donny the Great on the ones and twos. Trust everybody's doing well. Yet again, welcome to my side of the world. So in today's video, we're just gonna cover up on a couple of questions that I've been asked a lot lately in terms of how I got to be a DJ on a cruise ship in America, and a couple of other questions as well as into how you can get there too. So, if you are interested in knowing how to get a job on a cruise ship in America, might necessarily not be a DJ, but literally a cleaner, a retail sales associate, casino dealer, or anything you can think of. Make sure you like the video, subscribe for more content like this, comment any more questions you have, or any concerns, or literally anything that you would like to know about cruise ship life. I'll be ready to answer. So, let's get right into the video. Hey, what's up, everybody? It is your international cruise line DJ, Donny the Great on the ones and twos, and welcome to my side of the world. I am super excited. Okay, so the first question we're gonna jump into is the one that's very common: is how did I join or how did I apply to be on a cruise ship or work on a cruise ship? So, well, I applied like any normal candidate. You know, the links you see on Facebook. I searched online on Google cruise ship jobs and all that. But when I applied for a sales associate role because by that time I was still, in the retail industry. And I also got inspiration from my dad, of course, because he has been in the retail industry for a whole good while actually. So now that's where I decided, you know what, he's working overseas, I'm working in South Africa, so like, why don't I join him too? And I try to apply, and hopefully they'll get back to me. And yeah, well, they did get back to me. I'm gonna give you the links. I'm gonna give you a couple of insights into which agencies are legit or which email addresses are legit, where you can apply, and they will get back to you and all those just a little bit later in the video or maybe in another video. Depends. But I know some of you probably tried. If not, when you do apply, you just hope they'll get back to you and all those type of things. Yeah, so it also depends on the experience you have. It depends what you want to apply for. Sometimes, most of the times, you don't even need to have experience in whatever you want to do. You can literally just try something new, as long as you just do what you're supposed to do in order for you to get there. So you can literally just want to be a general worker, general housekeeping attendant or something like that. You don't need experience in terms of that, because we learn every day. So how can you apply for a job that needs experience if you don't have experience? You need to work somewhere to gain experience, right? You know how that goes. Long story short, I applied like a normal candidate would apply, just with hopefully the correct links with the correct agencies and stuff like that. I will give you a tip though. There's this website right here. I would advise you to go on that website, create your profile, and upload whatever documents you have just to strengthen your profile. And that's one way, that's one of the many ways you can get a job, or you can get like good feedback or response from them, because it's like a some sort of like an agency. All the cruise lines or all the agencies that actually show the vacancies that they have, they send it to this website and it becomes available to everyone. So yeah, you just apply. And one more thing, no cruise company or no agency will ever ask you for money when you apply. So when they say send this amount to whatever because they will guarantee you employment and stuff, like, nah, don't do that. That's a scam. It's a scam. They don't ask for any money. You are the one that's going to pay your own money to where they send you. You go there. For example, medical. You have to go do medicals. You literally go to the doctor. You pay for your own medicals. Yeah, you don't send any cruise company, you don't send any agencies any money. That's not how it works. But anyway, that I hope that covered up the first question as to how I apply. You just apply with the normal agency. Yeah, it depends if you apply with an agency or directly to the cruise line. In my perspective or in my preference, I would advise you to apply through an agency, because the agency, when they apply for you, they your application gets some sort of like a first hand, so that when the cruise line sees the application, this agency already applied for you. So now they will be like, the cruise line will be like, okay, well, that means they shortened the hiring process for us if we should take this candidate. You understand what I'm saying? I hope that makes sense. But again, if you have any more questions further, drop it on the comments below. I will get back to them. Promise. Right, so question number 2. How does it feel to work on a cruise ship? Well, honestly speaking, as to what I've witnessed, it all depends on your department. Depends on which department you work in. For example, like I mentioned before, I started with retail. So retail has its perks on board a cruise ship. And now I'm in entertainment, which is a DJ. So it also has its perks. So now there's a whole lot of departments on board a cruise ship. You literally get the entertainment department that will include your DJ, your youth staff, your crew staff, your anything that has to do with entertainment, the bands, the pianist, the violinist, the drummers, and all those, and anything that has to do with entertainment. That's a different department. You get bartenders now, and then you get the retail section where it just deals with shops. You get the guest services section. You get the spa section. There's a lot of positions that cruise ships have. So it all depends on your position. It's a thing of rank. Your rank, let me put it in as position. It depends on your position. That will kind of determine how your experience will be on board a cruise ship. So I can confidently say that being part of entertainment, you actually have a lot of good perks. You have there's a lot of things you can do, but you just need to bear in mind that you need to be professional about it, because now whatever you can do, you need to really be very professional about it. You need to always remember that, well, this is my job. It's not just me being on vacation. This is not you being on vacation. By the way, working on a cruise ship, it's not you being on vacation. When you see these good nice pictures and videos that I post, me being in Mexico, me being in France, me being wherever else the port the ship ports, that is not me being day off. That is just the ship porting at a specific place, and we are given time off, which is probably what, 4 or 5 hours maximum, depends on what you want to go do outside. And when you come back, just be aware that when you do come back, you gonna start your shift probably in the next 2 hours, maybe the next 2.5 hours. Gives you enough time to just refresh again and go back to work. So if you're wondering, do you get a day off at least in your contract? No, you don't get a day off at all. It's 7 days straight, and you work for 6 months on board a cruise ship. So on my first contract, my first ever contract being a sales associate, same thing. No days off. You work every single day. And when the ship ports at a specific place, you get off, you go have fun with your friends and colleagues and all that. When you come back, just make sure you're fresh for work again. And that's how it goes. So if I could say, is it fun to work on a cruise ship? Yes, it is fun. However, depending on your position, depending on which department you work in. One thing I would say, I don't think I'd ever apply to be, you know what? Never mind. I don't think it's a good idea for me to mention which department I would personally not, because I don't want to discourage anyone. What if that's a position you would like to apply and kind of grow from there? And that's where a lot of people actually do grow from that department. But I personally, I don't want to go to that department. Now I'm fine. I'm perfectly fine with entertainment. I mean, I love spinning these things. I love spinning my jog wheels. I'm good in the entertainment department. I'm good. I'm good. I don't even think I'll be going back to retail now, due to personal reasons. I don't think so. I don't think so. I'm great in the entertainment industry. Nah, yeah. Working on a cruise ship, it is beneficial. Honestly speaking, it's fun. It is really fun, especially the itineraries. Depending on which ship you go to, depending on where the ship will be going, which part of the world. I've been most of my times I've been in the Caribbean, Bahamas, Nassau, all those islands and stuff, which is great. Eventually, hopefully, if I can get a cruise ship that wants me, and that cruise line actually travels to Europe. I've only been in one part in Europe though. One part in Europe, which is obviously France, Marseille. Wanted to go to Paris so bad, but due to some restrictions of the cruise line, yeah, I couldn't go. Long story short, it is fun to work on a cruise ship, depending on your position. Yes. Next question. All right, question number 3. Y'all always want to know, is the salary good? The salary is good. The salary is good. Just remember one thing. If you're from South Africa and you get paid in dollars, or let me put it this way. If you're from South Africa and you get paid in a different currency, that's great. Any other currency besides the rand, you get paid in any other currency, you good. You good. It all depends on what you do with your money, you know. So the salary is good. Again, also depending on your position. Because not everybody on the cruise line gets the same amount of salary. When I was a retail sales associate, I got this much. And then me being a DJ now, I got this much. If I had to choose between these two, I would stick with the DJ, and that's one of the reasons why I prefer to stay in the entertainment department. Entertainment is the life on a cruise ship. Just imagine a cruise ship that does not have any entertainment. You know, everybody's just serious. You know, they just come and they go and, hey, can I please have a glass of pina colada? And the bar staff will be like, yeah, sure. Throwing and giving back. No, that's boring. So what they do is they also have their own entertainment acts, you know, bartenders. They flip the bottles and then they put the glass on the shoulder and throw the, you know, it's entertaining. That's what people on cruise ships, you know, passengers love. They love entertainment. So now me being part of the entertainment team, doing something I love, getting paid for something I love, it's good. Yeah, it is good. So yeah, the salary is good. It is good. I'm not gonna give approximate numbers and stuff, but it really is good. Yeah, and also try to save because you literally don't use your money while you're working on board a cruise ship. You get your money, and it's just gonna be like there in your account. And yeah, okay, fine, send some home, and the rest you're literally just gonna save. Yeah, when you go out with your friends at in Mexico or in Jamaica or whatever, you decide, hey, you know what? Let me just go out with a $200. $200. That's even, $200 even too much just to go spend with your friends for like 2 3 hours. Nah, that's too much. But just an example. Obviously, when you and your friends go out, you would like to go in Jamaica, get some souvenirs. You know, when you come back to South Africa or when you come back home, you'd be like, hey, you know what? I bought this in Jamaica. It's a souvenir. You know, I bought this in Mexico. It's a souvenir. You know, that's one thing I need to start doing. I only have certain things of certain places. Yeah, but I'm gonna start doing that when I go back soon again. So I'm gonna every port that I haven't been at, or even if I have been there and I didn't buy anything, I'm gonna do that. I'm gonna buy that. So yeah, a lot of people waste their money on buying unnecessary things. You know, like, hey man, I had a roommate on board a cruise ship. He literally every time the ship ports at a certain place, and I'm sure when he watches this video, I have you on WhatsApp. You know who I'm talking about. You know yourself. He literally buys the most stupidest things, and I told this to him several times. Hey, he always buys something that he doesn't need. It's just gonna be there on top by the TV, next to the TV, and he doesn't use it. He's just like, hey, what? I'm not even gonna talk how he talks because you. So anyway, the money is good. Long story short, the money is good, depending on your department as well. Another question that I get a lot too is like, how long are you always away for? So again, depending on your department, depending on which company, which cruise line, which agency hired you, but typically it all starts from 4 months to 6 months. Me being in the entertainment industry, yeah, it can vary sometimes. You know, it depends on business needs too. Because on my previous contract, I was given a 3 month contract, and due to business needs, due to company purposes, they requested, hey Donnie, we need you to stay one more month. Is it possible, please? Because the next DJ that had to come on still didn't finish all his documentation and all that. So I was like, okay, yeah, sure, no problem. And I stayed for an extra month. It was 4 months, and then I came back home. I'm still home, by the way. I'm still home in South Africa right now, guys. I'm not gonna mention when I'm leaving, but I'm leaving again. That's actually the next question. But before I go to that question, it's gonna be very short anyway. But wait, 6 months. 6 months maximum. Some people go for 8. Some people go for 12. A whole year being away from home. I would like to try that though. I've been home so long now, and I think I would be able to do a 1 year contract. Depends on business needs. You can be given a 6 month contract. You can request for an extension. You email your HR, the cruise lines HR actually. You email them probably 2 months prior before you leave, 2 months before you leave, before your contract ends, so that they can already discuss with the scheduling team as to, all right, he requested to stay for an extra month or an extra 2 months. Is it possible? Is there already someone that is coming in his place? Remember, there's like a lot of cruise ships in the fleet, so they will decide that, okay, well, we approved it, you can stay for an extra month or 2 months. uh, you leave this date then, and then what they do is whenever there's someone else that was supposed to cover you when you leave, they probably just shift it, or they never gave him a date yet, so they're gonna give him a date 2 months after your extension and all that. So yeah, so basically I'm basically always on board for 6 months, and then I come back for 2 months. So my first contract was 6 months, and I came back for 2 months, and then I applied being a DJ for a DJ role while I was on my first contract, and the 2 months I was home, I applied for DJ role and got accepted. And then I did my first 4 months, my first 3 months. Business needs 4 months, and I came back home. So right now I'm still home, leaving soon again. And my next contract will be 6 months, that's for sure. I've already been told my next contract is 6 months, and I'll be home for 2 months. But it also depends on you, though. If you feel that you would like to stay home on vacation just for a month, you also let them know. Just like you requested for an extension, you also just let them know, hey, I would like to actually be home not for 2 months. I would like to be home for just a month, or even if it's just 2 weeks or 3 weeks. They immediately find you another ship which you need to go to. You just need to be very prepared for it. That's it. Request in advance. Either they accept it, they decline it for whatever reason. But yeah, that's how it goes normally. Yeah. Now I gotta go back. All right. So this is the last question. I believe it's gonna be very short. Question that a lot of people that know I've been overseas, the first time they see me back in South Africa, this is the first question they ask. I should have started with this question, but this is the first question they ask.
When are you going back?
Like, why that question though? Sometimes I get so confused when people just see me. Hey, I see you back. Hey, that's great. Welcome back. When are you going back? When are you going back? When are you going back? I'm proudly South African. I'm back home. I'm on vacation now. So now you already want to know when I'm going back. So don't you want me here? Don't you want me back? I actually asked a couple of people there, don't you want me? And then they said no, no. I don't belong here. Apparently, I don't belong here. No, I belong here. I'm proudly South African. I just work in America, traveling on cruise ships and stuff like that. But yeah, now answering that question, when am I going back? I always say soon. I'm going back soon. They will confirm where there is a space in the next week, 2 weeks, 3 weeks, a month, 2 months, 3 months. It all depends. Yep. Last question. And I believe this is the most important question too, though. I can't believe I actually almost missed it. So, is it costly to work overseas on a cruise ship? Or what do you go through to work on a cruise ship? That is something that's very important, I must say. I'm gonna list them all. I'm not gonna, go into the specifics. But first of all, when you apply, my advice, when you apply, make sure you have a passport. Don't apply not having a passport, because now the agency or the cruise line that sees your application will see the attachments that, okay, here's the person's resume or CV. Here's the person's high school diploma, whatever qualifications you've sent and all that. But now, is the person or is this candidate travel ready? That is passport. At least a passport. So when they see you have a passport, at least, so that's already one travel document sorted out. Just one out of out of five, I think. So that's one already. Passport, perfect. The next thing you need to get is a visa. But the visa, I'll advise you not to apply for a visa unless the cruise line or the cruise company or the agency, whatever, has hired you. You only apply for your visa once they've hired you, because there's documents they will send to you in order to apply for the correct visa type online. So you need to get a visa. By the way, the visa, the last time when I made my visa, I'm not going to mention the amount now because I said I won't go into the specifics. But when I made my visa, it literally took about 3 days for me to get it, for it to be available. You understand? So yeah, so you're gonna need to have a visa as well. Don't apply for the visa until you have received a letter of employment, which we call an LOE, letter of employment. The cruise company or your agency will send you a letter of employment stating that, okay, this is the ship you're going to. this date, and it's basically a promise saying that this is your not an offer letter though. It's just a letter of employment stating that when you apply for your visa, when you go for your interview in wherever you're gonna schedule your interview. I went to Johannesburg. So whenever you schedule your interview, when you go there at the US Embassy for your interview, it's literally basic questions. They just gonna ask you some questions. You literally don't even need to reply because the letter of employment is there. You just slide it to them. Hey, good morning, sir. Or good afternoon. When depending on which time you go there, just slide them your letter of employment. Okay, I'll say I see you joining a cruise line. Which cruise line? I mean, it's already on the letter of employment. They just want to hear you talk too. Oh no, I'm joining Carnival, whatever. Okay, which date are you joining? They see the date, but they still gonna ask you. They want to, talk. No, I'm joining on this date, whatever, whatever. All right, cool, cool, whatever. They process everything. It literally takes within like 10 minutes. Then your visa will be approved. There's no way your visa can be declined. There's no way unless you really don't talk or something. I don't know, but your visa can be declined when you have a letter of employment. You just give it to them. That already says everything they want to ask or want to know. And that's it. By the way, yes, visa is costly. It is a little costly. You're gonna pay that by yourself. And the lucky, no, not lucky, but the good thing about you paying for your own visa is that when you go back on a cruise on your cruise ship or the company that hired you, some or no, most cruise companies reimburse you the amount you've spent on your visa. So, example, if you paid 4,000 rand for your visa, probably your first or your second salary, maximum your third salary, you will be reimbursed the amount that you spent for your visa. You just need to make sure you have the receipt. Don't don't throw away the receipt. Well, you need to, my advice is when you have the receipt, scan it on your phone, save it on your phone, and send it to them already. So if you do lose it, in fact, I'll advise you not to lose it because they want the original. They will want to see the original, and they will reimburse you that amount. And yeah, that's document number two, which is the visa. You need that visa. The other documents that you will be needing will be medicals. You're gonna need your medicals. So medicals is basically how they call it the PEME. It's your pre-employment medical examination. So what they do is depending on the cruise company that hired you, it mainly depends on the cruise company. So they want you to do a full medical report, meaning they withdraw your blood, check your chest, X-rays, check your heart, check if you're physically fit for whatever position you applied for on board. If you have a heart condition, for example, that's going to be on your report. That doesn't mean they will decline your medical report like the cruise line because they need to check if you're physically fit to up to do your duties, and you don't need any assistance, you don't need any whatever and stuff like that. They need to make sure that you are physically fit at least. That's the most. If they check you have a heart disease or heart problem and stuff like that, if it is treatable, they can still take you. They will just probably assist you with whatever medication you'll be needing. One thing they won't take you, no exception, is when they withdraw your blood and they find that you smoke weed. Cruise companies are very strict when it comes to weed. Weed, cocaine, any type of drug substance. When that comes on your medical report, forget it. It's chai. It's chai, my brother. It's chai, my sister. They won't take you. You can be physically fit and everything, but the moment there's a drug-like substance inside of your body, it's chai. So medicals are normally the last procedure in the hiring process. So once that is done, you pretty much, you pretty much ready. Even though they gave you your date, they gave you an assignment and all that, they can cancel it just like this because of your medical. Just because of your medical, they can cancel everything. And medical, that's the most expensive, I think. If I have to remember correctly, that's the most expensive thing to do as part of your documents. the medical, because they will catch you when they do a drug and alcohol test randomly. They will catch you, and it's bye bye. You need to pack your bags and you're gonna come back home. You understand? So leave the weed. If you smoke weed and your appointment is next month or 2 months from now, leave the weed. Leave it. I don't know if it will be hard for you because I don't know. And I look, I don't smoke, so I don't know. But anyway, long story short, medicals. I think that's the third document. Another documentation. Oh, STCW. Secure, or I forgot the abbreviation of that, but it's certificates that you need to have, basic training that you're supposed to have done online or physically at a registered STCW facility. And when I say STCW, it's literally you doing courses that prepares you for an emergency on board. For example, basic safety training. The basic safety training, it's literally in the name, basic safety. So you're gonna need to know the alarm sounds on a cruise ship. You know, the six short horns, and then the seventh one is the long one. That means it's a, it's a emergency somehow, somewhere. There's different codes on cruise ships that you need to know as well. If you work on a cruise ship and a passenger passes out in front of you, you need to know what to do in that situation. You shouldn't panic because you the one that's working on a cruise ship. Other passengers are gonna panic. You the one that should not panic. If anything happens on board a cruise ship, let's say there's a fire, you need to know how to fight fire. I'm not saying that you do that because they do have designated people for that roles. However, if more candidates are needed or if more employees are needed for a specific role, you need to be ready. So there's a couple of certificates. It all depends on which certificates they will need you to have. I think normally sometimes it's literally two or three. It's a basic safety training. I think it's security, something of security, watchkeeping, something like that. Forgot the other one, but I personally have six of those things. I think that's all I need for my position. That's all that I need. That's all good, and they are valid for 5 years though. Some of them, I think, the basic security training is that's for a lifetime, but some of the others only valid for 5 years. So after 5 years, you're gonna need to renew them and all that. Oh, by the way, about the medical is valid for 2 years. After 2 years, you're gonna need to renew it. Like me, I need to renew mine very soon, very soon. So yeah, that's document number four. Number five, is there number five? No, I don't think there's number five. I don't think so. If I missed out something, hey, I will get back to y'all in the next video. I hope y'all enjoyed this. I hope this is very helpful for you if you ever considered of applying on a cruise ship or applying on a cruise ship. If you ever considered working on a cruise ship and want to apply, either if it's for a stylist, the massages, you want to be a dealer in the casino, you want to be a DJ like me, you want to be a retail sales associate. It all depends on you. So I hope this was helpful. If this was helpful to you and you are new to this channel, please make sure you do like, make sure you do subscribe, make sure you do comment your next question or whatever the case may be. So yeah, I would appreciate that a lot. And stay tuned for the next video. Again, it is your boy, DJ Donnie the Great on the ones and twos. Till we meet again. Yeah, yeah. Ciao.